It's the Duffin Up Podcast. Hello?
Hello?
Is this thing on? Are we doing? Are we back? Is it time to be back?
Can you hear me?
Ooh, what's going on, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas, and welcome back to another episode of the Duffin Up Podcast. My name is Brendan Monroe, and I am joined by two of the most fantastic human beings in the world. First off, we have the Irish Chooch himself, Timmy O'Reilly. Timmy, welcome back, brother.
Thank you for having me. It feels like the last time we were on this was 1999, and I was just entering, I think, the first grade. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Phil Mickelson had man titties back then. That's how long it's been. Phil Mickelson was not in tip-top shape like he is now. He had the man boobs. We've been gone for a bit.
I bet you his calves were still the same, though.
100%. 100%. We just couldn't see them because they weren't allowed to wear pants. They had to wear three-piece suits.
That's right. But Brendan, I am glad to be back. Glad to be talking golf. Glad to be doing something golf-related in this winter. And thanks for having me. As always, Big Brent.
Of course. And we have on the man who can just do a nice little flick over there and hit the ball 300,000 yards. The big bomber himself, Brian O'Reilly. Brian, what's going on, my guy?
Not much, and not many flicks are going on lately, but I'm excited to be back. It has been quite the hiatus. Holy hell. Thank the Lord we're back here. Back and better than ever. New year 2024. Let's get after it.
Yes. So there has been a bit of a hiatus, I would say. I think you boys would agree. Scheduling in the end of 2023 was a little bit of a rough time because I was gallivanting on a world tour. Brian was gallivanting on a world tour when I was not on one Japanese and Hawaiian tour. And Tim was just kind of at his house chilling. So, you know, we felt bad. We felt really bad. I felt terrible. But I'm so happy that we're back. And boys, we missed we missed a good amount. Like, I don't even think we can go back and talk Ryder Cup right now because that legitimately happened 3 months ago, and there's so much more that has happened in golf since.
Yeah, they lost anyway, so
they stunk. Absolutely stunk. Zach Johnson, get out of my face. But anyways, we'll get back into it. And the first thing, and not the biggest story in golf right now. First story, though, that we are going to talk about is Tiger Woods, because Tiger Woods officially this week ended his 27-year relationship with Nike and Nike Golf. Now, many of us know Nike Golf is kind of transitioning away. You know, Nike itself is making a transition away from golf, just in general. They stopped making their clubs in, I believe it was 2016. I think their apparel is going to be gone probably within the next 2 years. But it is, even as a guy who never wore Nike Golf because I'm a bigger man and their stuff was the tightest fit known to the world, it's sad to see the person who kind of built Nike Golf be done with it.
Yeah, something about that check mark is synonymous with Tiger, with great golfers. You know, you see the people who are up and coming and going to be the great golfers of the upcoming generations. You see them get picked up by Nike with that check mark on their hat or their shirt. And you're like, ooh, that just looks sweet. That's clean. That's right there. And it is going to be a sad end of an era for sure. And but with every ending comes a new opportunity. And that Nike logo that just drips over the side of the cup at the 2005 Masters, and oh my goodness, on the 16th hole at the Masters. I mean, they couldn't have scripted that Nike logo rolling in there. It was just a brand that backed the greatest golfer to ever live, and it's gonna be something to see where Nike goes, and if they go further with golf, like Brendan said, they might be ending. But can't wait to see what's next for Tiger. That's for sure.
Because you do have to look too. I mean, Tiger obviously ended it, but like Jason Day was probably one of their biggest guys. He's at Malbon now. Charlie Hull, who was big on the women's tour, she went to Malbon as well. I feel like Malbon's kind of getting all these guys right now. I don't know what Tony Finau's doing. I don't know. Brooks Koepka's probably going to be done with them sooner or later too. So it is kind of crazy to see the guys that we grew up with as Nike golfers. Who knows if Anthony Kim's ever going to come back? Oh, imagine that. He has to wear something different than Nike though. But it'll be interesting to see.
What do you think Scotty Scheffler is going to do?
Oh, boy.
Well, but I mean, what I guess the better question is what's next for Tiger? He's my main focus, and what do you think? What do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to start his own brand? I mean, he has his own brand, but do you think he's going to go all in on it? I mean, he's got the logo, he's got the following, people wearing his shoes. What do you think? His polos? Do you think he's going to go all in? I mean, Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan have done it.
So I don't know when
Bill
the
Murray.
Ben Hogan William Murray golf.
William Murray.
William Murray.
I don't know. Does anyone know when the Ben Hogan brand started? Because I feel like it was just his kids who were like, "Yeah, we're gonna license this out." Like, you can
started,
make a
then
bunch
went
of money off
bankrupt.
my
Started,
dad's.
started, then went bankrupt. Started, then went bankrupt. Started and back. Good question.
I think the Nicholas stuff has been semi-successful. I mean, semi-successful, I would say, right? Like people wear Jack Nicklaus stuff. Greg Norman actually probably had the most successful line. Like I don't know if you guys remember like the early and mid, like the late aughts into the early 20 teens. Like everyone was wearing Greg Norman. Everyone had that shark logo. Oh, beautiful. And again, as a maybe not the biggest Greg Norman podcast, we have to put respect on the name. The Greg Norman logo is one of the best of all times.
Yeah, agreed. It's you see it. People wear it who have never even picked up a golf club. It's just a brand that the casual, I want to say middle-aged to retired people wear. I mean, you don't see many young people wearing Greg Norman, and that's because we just didn't grow up with him. And no disrespect to him, but it's almost like, and there's that other one, the Walter Hagen brand, which is still out and about for sure. It's kind of like
price point. The price point is affordable enough for anyone to be enticed to purchase the Walter Hagens. I feel like you can find that anywhere for sure.
Yeah, agreed. And they're starting to modernize too. I don't know if you've seen in the sporting goods store that has a phallic name.
Richards.
Penises.
Richards.
Sporting goods.
Yeah, they have been zhuzhing it up to more modern patterns and colors and everything like that. Walter Hagen, don't sleep on them. They got their good stuff, and like Brian said, they are reasonably priced compared to the $70 Nike shirt. They have $40 Nike shirt, $40 Walter Hagen shirts.
I completely agree with you on that side. It's kind of crazy. I didn't realize that Walter Hagen was like around he was born in 1892. So we think like Ben Hogan's kids are doing this off of his back. Like, no, Walter Hagen's kid, he died in 1969. Like that dude definitely had kids and was like, how are we going to make money off of our dad's name? Boom. So I think Tiger will go solo for a bit. I do think he's going to try and Tom Brady did his own, Jordan did his own, Brady did his own. The Brady one's nowhere near as successful as Jordan, obviously. Right. But I do think he's going to go out on his own for a bit. And also, like, who can afford him from that perspective? Like that Nike contract was ironclad and they did it back in like the early, they kept renewing it, but like they really got him at a pretty good price point when he came in. And I feel like it's kind of how Phil Mickelson always has Greyhawk on his bag because they were the first kind of group that like bet on him and gave him $20,000. Like I feel like I feel like Tiger had that loyalty to Nike too when everyone dropped him back in 2008, like Gatorade dropped him. Everyone but Nike dropped him. Nike
and
stuck
Monster.
with him, and
don't forget Monster.
Monster, big old Monster thing on the bag. That's always hilarious.
It's so I read a whole article on that, which is so funny. But I mean, just with that too. I mean, a lot of the players have their own logo, like Justin Rose, Justin Thomas is Gray Wolf. Justin Rose has one. Sergio Garcia had one. Like, they all like kind of have. Jordan Spieth had one, has one, and it's like I feel like that's obviously like you want to have that because it's cool to have your own logo, but with the potential of you being such a great star, that like hopefully it just people want your thing, your products and such, just to when your career ends, kind of thing. Like Tiger, I could see him. I mean, he obviously had already has some things, but he also doesn't need. I mean, you could always go for more money. Why not? But he has he's obviously designing golf courses now, and a lot of those like he just those different endorsements and things like I'd be curious to see what he ends up doing. I mean, because right now he's wearing FootJoy shoes, he's wearing hitting Bridgestone golf balls, he's hitting TaylorMade clubs, obviously. So it's like he's between Titleist and slash FootJoy with all these different companies, and um so it's anyone's game, but I could see him just being like, no, I'm just gonna do Tiger Woods, like, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's better quality than his shoes were for people with plantar fasciitis. So,
I hope it's
yeah,
called like something. If he does make a brand, it's like something cool, like the cat. Or I mean, obviously it's
It'll
got to
literally
be.
just be TW. Like it will just be that logo.
He does have a cool logo, the
He
logo for
does
his
have the
restaurant.
good TW logo, that's for sure. I freaking love that logo, by the way.
But
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if they can use that because technically it is a brand through Nike. So I don't know if they're going to hold the rights to it. And
I
he's
bet you that might have been part of the deal where when he was leaving, it's like you are right, and that does get into IP laws, but it'd be very interesting. I would be shocked if Nike wasn't like not giving it to him, obviously, like selling it to him for like a certain amount or like getting a percentage of royalties like going forward. I would be shocked if that if it's just like, oh yeah, nope, it's ours, 100% ours. You're not getting anything. Like imagine doing that to the good old big cat. Whew.
yeah, or just names it Wood. Just I don't know. But so obviously you Brennan, you said it before. Like I don't know who can afford Tiger, but I don't know if you guys knew this, but TaylorMade did throw out a number there for him to be full TaylorMade.
Mm.
I did see
I
that number.
did you guys happen to remember the number?
Is it
What's the number,
430
Brian?
million? Is it 430 mil?
Very close. It is a Weasley 450 million. Now my question to you guys is he worth 450 million or is he worth more, say a billion? You
I
know,
mean,
what is
he's worth more, but they're not going to pay him more because like even going full TaylorMade, like he's worth that. He's definitely worth more probably to them, but I think we got to also remember he's 47. Like
Yeah, he'd be worth way more if he was making cuts.
yeah. And we're not bad. We will never
No,
bad.
no, never slander. I mean, I can make the tour.
But
I can't even make
exactly.
80, break 80.
It's
So
there's just no way that they're gonna put that more than that investment in at like this stage in his career. And he's basically also said he's like, I'm not gonna play Champions Tour. Like, I don't want to do that. You know, it's not like when Phil was struggling on the PGA when he turned 50, he went up to the Champions Tour, crushed it, and then went to live and has been doing well since. I think he's definitely worth that. He's probably worth more. He probably should be getting like the big B out of them, like that one Billy. But I don't think they're gonna go that far.
how,
yeah.
I was just
I
gonna
don't
say, how
even know
about
if they do $1 billion in sales every year for TaylorMade. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're over that. But like, imagine that. Like, never mind your cogs, never mind it. Like, if you don't, you basically have to do like $1 billion over. You have to do like 1 point whatever $1 billion in profit, and one of those 1 billion out of the 1.2 billion that you do goes straight into Tiger Woods' pocket.
Just when you thought the stealth was really expensive, they got to up it $100
Oh
just
my
to get
God,
Tiger.
seriously.
And the new
Jesus.
was it Q10 with the new driver they just came out with?
Yeah, I
That
think
whole
they
line.
they did just come out. I know Callaway came out with that AI smoke that looks pretty baller too. Everything looks good right now on those.
Yeah.
Mizuno came out with new stuff. Everyone's coming out.
Oh, the ping irons are sweet. The
Are they?
yeah, they're what are they called? Blueprint, I think, or something along those lines, where it's they're very, like, it looks like they're still, like, they're not fully finished kind of thing. Like, it looks like they
Oh,
took
they're
off
like
the
matte
assembly.
finished.
Yeah, but like, exactly, but like very pretty plain, but I like the way they look.
Mm.
Um, but no, I mean, just with that too, obviously Justin Thomas and the Grayson brand, and then Charlie was rocking Grayson um the PNC, and so I mean, I could see him slapping a Wolf logo on a shirt somewhere, or
I
on
like
some.
it, but they're gonna have to give him freaking points in that company. Like, they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have.
it's all gonna, obviously all gonna come at a cost, and but who knows? I personally, if it were, I'd like him to go full fledged Tiger Wood, like TW brand, like Tiger Woods, but
I think that's the best way for him to go. Like,
because I mean,
honestly,
like, because like everyone knows what he's playing, like, even if he's not, doesn't have the logo on his shirt or his
yeah.
hat, or like everyone, like, the fact that I was able to rattle off what he uses and plays, it's no secret. So that doesn't seem to be a huge issue. People wanting to use him as a full fledged billboard. So I don't see why he doesn't, but who knows?
I
I
agree
think
with you
a
there.
company that's not gonna. I mean, a company such as like a law firm, like Phil has like KMC. What is it?
KPMG.
KPMG, they're a public accounting firm, good sir. As a
Exactly. Like
member who of what used as a person who used to work in a public accounting firm, I do know my public accounting.
my man.
Yeah.
uh, but like some gazillion-dollar company, like an oil company or something like that. Hell, it could be the Bushes. You know what I mean? Like the George W's. They could just pay him $1 billion to slap their company's name on his breast.
I mean,
And
that's basically what Monster did. They paid him like $75 million like over a 3-year period just to put their freaking logo on his back. The
It's so
ugliest logo in the world.
I
Ugh.
absolutely, I if I could pick, I think one of the sneaky best best sponsors is NetJets. I would love to be sponsored
oh
by
yeah,
NetJets. Just have, like, obviously a lot of them anyway have a private jet at their disposal, but having that NetJets sponsorship, count me in,
wow.
man.
What if
Just
he went full throwback, full comedy, and he went the route of Happy Gilmore and had like Subway planted across his
mm-hmm.
chest?
Or
That would be
or he goes back to Top Flight. Back in the day, he was Top Flight.
oh. Maybe he bought some stock with Top Flight and is like, maybe I should, dabble a little bit. I mean, he could put that thing on his butt and people would buy. It, Brendan, I don't know if you caught up. We said maybe he goes with full Happy Gilmore, plants Subway on his chest.
Ooh,
Um,
I would like
and
that.
Brian said Top Flight, going right back to Top Flight. Maybe
or just or how about the best CJ Logistics? He goes full
wow.
Korea on us.
He joins the group. He joined.
He,
Oh,
I
dude,
would love
imagine.
that. Sung Jae, get him in there.
Oh, he would have to become like a citizen of South Korea though to start. It'd be unbelievable.
If anybody could do it.
Mm.
Oh
But
yeah.
I think it's gonna be great because then I do think if he goes his own route, like it's gonna take time, right? Like he might wear it, whatever. It's gonna take probably 2 years. If I was him, I would start it, hire all the old Nike guys. Like that's all you gotta do. Just bring all of Nike Golf over to TW Golf and just do it that way. Like it's perfect.
He embraces the Tiger of old and just has Magnum sponsor him.
Oh
And
yeah.
bring Scotty Cameron with him.
Oh, he's got to bring that Scotty. Isn't there a clothing brand that just has a tiger logo, kind of like an Izod or
Oh, that
like
was
a
John
Lacoste?
Daly. Oh no, that's a lion.
Yeah, John Daly, I think, has a lion. I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, I'm
Because
sure there is, right? But
And if not, then Lacoste is it's gonna look like a Lacoste thing, just a little tiger though.
totally forgot about Lacoste. Do you know Lacoste does golf too?
No, they sort of do it. They mostly do tennis.
Yeah, they're big tennis, but they do have golf stuff. I think it's mostly for women's golf, but they do have golf stuff. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like Slazenger. Like Slazenger has like a couple 2-3 shirts of their logo, but it's mostly tennis stuff.
That's
which,
a you want to talk about a cool logo.
But-
Slazzies. Like back in the day when you found a Slazzy on the course, I was like, oh,
That was Tim's first set of clubs. He had a full Schlesinger set bag. It was from Dick's, right, or something like that. Where
from Richards.
Full box set. Yeah,
full box set. They were great. They were great. They did the job.
Huge cavity.
Oh, the size of the Grand Canyon back there.
Do you still have those clubs, Tim?
I think they are in our parents' garage still.
We should play around with our old clubs if I still have mine.
That's a great idea.
I gave mine away because I had old Cleveland's, and when I tell you the cavity back was like, oh, it was
you could hit it out of the sand.
It was saucy. It was absolutely saucy. Unbelievable.
You could store another ball in there just in case you hit one in the woods. You could just pop it out of the back and put it on the tee and go again.
I mean, I wish I would have known that at the time. That would have been genius. Oh.
Break a freaking bunker with it. Just absolutely, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
But that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be. But boys, sorry. Go ahead, Timbo. Didn't mean to. I was about to pull a Mikey Segways, even though Mikey Segways isn't here, and segue into the new conversation. But I definitely want to hear your point before I do that.
Oh, seg it away, Brent. Mine was nothing to be desired. Go ahead.
Because I was going. Speaking of balls, guys. Speaking of the balls, one thing we did miss was the absolute uproar about the ball rollback.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
My goodness gracious. People need a hobby to get all upset about certain things like this. Lord, hear our prayer.
Oh.
Jeez.
Well, here's the thing too. And my point on this, I don't know if people agree with me. I doubt they do. I don't think it's the ball's problem. Like the ball has been, yes, ball technology has significantly increased since the 1980s, 90s. As soon as they came in with like the core ball, which by the way, Titleist stole from Bridgestone, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, ball technology has been great. Do you know what has surpassed ball technology by far and away? Club technology.
Yeah.
If you ever see the pictures of what Tiger used for a driver in 2000 versus what he uses now, it's the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Like the driver heads are enormous. The club technology and the irons is fantastic. If you want to go that route, I'm being very serious. Just either make them hit the new, when TaylorMade came out with like that 2-wood, have that in the bag for those USGA and RNA events if you want to do it that way. I don't think you need to touch the ball. I don't think you needed to do the ball rollback. I get it. Dead in the clubs. That's the way you wanted to go, because I just don't see why you would roll back the ball when you could easily do something with the clubs, and it's much better. Make them go out there and play with persimmons. That's what I want to see. That I want to see Rory McIlroy tee up with a big old bag of persimmons woods in his ridiculous
and you can't replace them mid-round if they break.
No. So you just got to use the 3-wood instead off the tee.
That's right. Hickory it around. I agree, Brendan.
Just one. I would love that. Just one tournament where they have to play with persimmons and hickory shafts. And
I know a guy who goes and plays in a hickory league up in New Hampshire, like regularly. Like he has the full thing. The guys in the club, it's basically, it reminds me of kind of like all like the Model T meetups, the car meetups. Like they just go and play hickory sticks. Like the guys are making their clubs. They like, it's a cool thing, and they dress up in the knickerbockers and everything. Like they go full-fledged hickory, old school.
That was going to be my second point. That was gonna be my second point. Is make them dress up too.
Yeah, if we're doing a ball rollback, we should do a clothing rollback for sure.
Make them
bring back the Knickerbockers.
Make them wear the Knickerbockers. Make them wear that.
Dougal would be pumped.
Dougal, the Duff Daddy, would fit right in. Well, he has a kilt, so it's a little bit more formal than the Knickerbockers, but he would be very, very excited. He'd get the ball. He'd get the little ball bag, so we could put all of his stuff right in that little hairy ball bag. Which, again, like the Scottish were just taking the absolute piss out of all of us. I realized once they made a hairy ball bag that went right in front of your private areas. I'm like, these guys are geniuses, and they get it. Life is a joke. So it was unbelievable seeing that. I would love if whenever they had to play the British Open up in Scotland, one round.
Oh yeah,
kilts.
Yeah.
and like, have you seen that video? Like, bring back every single aspect of it. Have you seen the video of when the fans would able to like dive in, like on the last putt and scoop the ball out of the hole? Like when
but see, I don't want people to do that because
I would love that.
The better part is when they would like, because they all had like the old Peaky Blinder hats back in the day, and they would just sprint up to the green and like take off their hats and immediately like shake the dude's hand. And I was just like, I gotta be the first one to shake the champion's hand. I'm like, we're good, dudes. We're good.
And like, and with, I mean, the closest thing we have to old time golf, which is obviously just strictly off of traditions, is our next major coming up in April, the Masters, where there's no phones. The concession prices are frozen in time, and it's just you and golf. Because that's kind of, I mean, I'm definitely guilty of it. Is filming. See, you see a player on the tee, and there's like 1,000 phones just filming it, and that's the best part about the Masters. Is not a phone in sight. I sound like an old man right now, but just live in the moment. But I think I totally agree with you. At least once a year, like we have all these different tournaments, and which is cool. Like the father-daughter, father-son tournaments, which is cool. That's big. That's actually a big thing now. But like switch it up. We need to switch it up, and people would be watching a ton more. And you'd be able to play some of the courses that we're not able to play on tour anymore because they're too short. So you could use the old school hickory clubs at some of the shorter courses that are still some of the best courses in the world.
I like it. Look at us.
I think the only people that this is really going to affect. I mean, everyone is going to have to switch to it, right? Whatever. They're only going to sell those in stores. You're going to go into the wood. You're going to find one. You're be like, can I use this one? Can I not use them? I mean, we don't really care. We're amateurs. So like, whatever. We're going to play whatever balls in our bag. But to be honest, I mean, we know all the players. They're just going to get these balls given to them. They're just going to be like, all right, just give me the ball that I'm going to use in this tournament, whatever. And they're going to use it. They don't care. They'll all have to use it. Whatever. It's an equalizer.
They get paid to use it. They get paid to use it.
It's only going to affect the consumer.
It's going to suck.
Because we're going to have to go out and pay more for these balls.
I already can't hit my ball that far. Like, what the hell?
I know. I mean, we're lucky if we get 250 off the tee. You know what I'm saying?
We're all not like Brian over here, which quick flick of the penis and it goes 350 yards. It's not fair.
Look at the Dick's Sporting Goods.
Flick of the Dick's Sporting.
Look at it.
Oh, that was great.
Like
but no, Sporting Goods.
Yeah, so immature.
That's okay. Whenever I can, I'm bringing I'm bringing it up no matter what. So we got to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
But yeah, no, I think it affects us more. I also think like they may have to honestly be like, these are professional balls. These are and then if you play in a high amateur tournament, so if you play in like the USG, you play in like the USAM, you play in like that, you get, if you play college golf, you get the professional style balls, because I don't think it's fair to the local consumer that you're doing this ball rollback when like the regular guy, the average, I think they do it out every year and they say the average scratch golfer hits it 265, 268 off the tee. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, And that's at a high, that's a higher end. Like I just don't see how this is making the game better. And I do think like you are going to have to be like, okay, these are professional balls. Like we're not doing the ball rollback for amateurs. We're not doing it for, the local guys. We're only doing this for PGA professionals, Corn Ferry Tour, professional leagues, and the high amateur competitions. And that's it.
It's a little bit relatable to the MLB, where they're the only ones who use wooden bats, unless you're in like a wooden bat league or something like that. I guess that's the only thing you can really.
Yeah, and it would be easier to go after the clubs, but the club manufacturers don't want to do that. I don't know why the OEMs don't want to do that. It's a much better way to do it for those events, but you're because no one's hitting. Like that's the one thing when they say like. And this is where I get a little bit pissed at the tour players too. They're like, "Oh yeah, we play the same exact ball as you." I'm like, "No, you don't. You played Pro V1 left dot, left dash. Those just came out to the consumers a year ago. Those have been on tour for 5-6 years. Like all that stuff. And then the clubs, they're all specially made for you. Like you're not. Don't say you're playing the same stuff as us. Like never say that.
And I wonder, like you said, Brendan, why don't they roll the clubs back? I wonder if the PGA Tour went to all these companies and said, "Hey, we got to change something. What would be a
well, it wasn't the PGA, it was the USGA and the RMA.
USG, yeah, you're right, USGA. But I'm sure they went to Titleist and TaylorMade and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna roll something back." And they said, "We'll pay you this much amount of money to do the balls and not our clubs because they're making money." I don't know. I wonder if that's a factor.
Very well could be. I would agree with you there. Very well could be on that side.
Money. Yeah, they're probably looking at numbers and sales, and club sales probably outweigh ball sales. Potentially, I could be totally off in that. I'm just assuming because just
probably not. It's probably close because of the amount of money clubs cost versus balls.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
the amount of balls they are selling. It's crazy.
Right. I was gonna say because like someone picking up golf for the first time, they're not necessarily concerned about what ball they play. I don't know. That's easy. That's an easy search, but I don't know the answer off the top of my head, and I'm not very good with economics, and don't know the sales. But someone listening is probably like, "You're so wrong," but but it's totally like it's. I don't know. They were strategic about it, and they have some say obviously about it, and people's hands are in other people's pockets.
Now think about this. I wonder if the smaller ball companies like a Top Flight, like a Pinnacle, see this as an opportunity to be like, "Hey, maybe we can become the best rollback ball out there."
The best ball in the game is Odin golf balls, of course. So we don't even have to talk about
it. But they don't have to do anything.
Odin? Is Odin going to do okay with this?
Oh boy,
got to talk to Jordan.
Big Jord, please do not roll our balls back.
Go balls out.
But imagine Pinnacle becomes the new Titleist Pro V1, just because the tour pros are using these Pinnacles and they're like, "These are the best ones." And Pinnacle's like capitalizing on this new rollback.
That's Tiger's new sponsor. That's got to be Tiger's new.
Oh,
money. Imagine that.
Yeah, Pinnacle Soft.
Oh, Dunlap.
Or Noodle. Sorry, that's
Noodles.
Noodle long and soft. Great marketing there.
Yep. Oh, the best marketing. I was gonna do because we were talking about money. I missed the Mikey segues though, because I was gonna be like, speaking about money, Jon Rahm just made a boatload of money by going to live. But we missed the segue a little bit, but we can still talk about it because it's something we missed.
Nope, you definitely got to talk about it.
Yep. We kept saying sooner or later someone's going to go where it truly changes the game. This is it. This changed. Like it has changed the game. And not only that, it is a guy who was vehemently defending. Like, I know we say Brooks did. I know we say Bryson did. I know we say DJ did. Jon basically said it was never about the money. He doesn't care about the money. He cares about the prestige and winning tournaments and all that stuff. And Then they gave him $600 million and he went. So I do think there are some guys who did turn down the money who, if they were offered it again, are not going to turn it down this time.
Are you thinking like the GTs and the Jordan
I'm
Spieths?
thinking like the Patrick Cantlay who can just get off my screen anyways. But I mean, like they said, Rory never got offered money. I don't believe that. I think Hideki Matsuyama is probably one where they said they offered him like $300 million and he said no. Like looking back at that now, it's like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's no repercussions. You can do it and you can
Yep.
play in the 4 most important events of the year.
Yeah. So it absolutely changes it. I think even Rory was on a podcast recently. Wish he would come on ours. Oh, Rory, if you're listening, open invite, dude.
Come on down.
He's for
Come
sure
on.
listening.
Brendan, I think you're right. I think at most, and probably the most important thing about Jon Rahm switching to Live is that it makes this Live League legit. It's not a gimmick anymore. It
Nope.
is
3
legit.
year entering year 3 now. I mean, think about it. When we first started doing it, we would just ruthlessly make fun of Liv
Yep.
for being like Charles Howell III, great job. You know, like getting Ian Poulter, getting all these older guys that were kind of on their way to the Champions Tour, anyways. The Pat Perez stuff always just gets me because I love Pat Perez, but it has made it. It's I wouldn't say it's a destination, but like if you're Victor Hovland now and you get a big offer, you're probably thinking about it. You win a major, like I know when Cam Smith won and went, like that was a big deal. And that was a little bit of a changer. Like the Jon Rahm one now, it's all and with Brooks being able to play in the Ryder Cup. That was the biggest thing when Brooks played in the Ryder Cup, which he deserved to play in. I think we all would agree there.
Yep. He qualified on his own.
He
Absolutely.
basically, yep. And like because he did that, you know, it's it's okay. And I think it's okay too. So, you know, we just gotta talk about Live more and more now, which will be very interesting.
I said it right from the beginning. I cannot wait for the Ryder Cup equivalent of Live versus the PGA to come about because that is going to be a rip roaring weekend, especially now that the rivalry factor is there.
Yeah. Get rid of the President's Cup. There's no reason for it anymore.
No. No. Yeah, I don't care. But agree, especially now that Jon is there because it almost makes it fair as far as like if the PGA Tour played Live year 1, the PGA Tour would have won.
Yeah.
No doubt. But now it's a fair fight and I can't wait.
Yeah. Right, guy.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. I mean, I personally wish I think the biggest loss for me, at least initially, was the Cam Smith thing. I was so I looked forward to watching Cam Smith up there competing all the time, and like the other like obviously we don't see DJ as much or a lot of them, but unfortunately, we see Patrick Reed a lot more than we want to often. But it's just I don't know. At Cam Smith, that was the biggest hit for me, honestly. I just especially because he just came off of winning and winning the Open, and that was a shocker. And at this point, we kind of were our initial thoughts, just like we thought we would be. In COVID lockdown for only a couple of weeks, and it turned into a couple of years. Without Live was just gonna be like a year worth of it, if that, and just flame out. It'd be like, oh, that was a good try, but PGA Tour is clearly gonna come out on top. But with the Rom signing, especially him being adamant about the US the PGA being elite and he'll never go to Live, that turnaround. I mean, money talks. We've said that from the beginning. Money talks, especially for guys now that are in the prime of their career. It's no longer for old wash up people trying to get paid on their way out their door and sail off into the sunset. It's now active, like high top 10 in the world players going. And it's a shock, but it's not a shock. I don't know. I kind of really haven't processed it just because it's kind of the off season, quote unquote. So I don't know. It could hurt. I mean, obviously, we'll see Rom at the Masters next year. We'll see a few of them. But I really won't really hit me until the season starts back up and there's this void of at least and it is kind of funny too. I always think when you're watching tournament, even if the live players are in it, the lack of coverage that they get, the lack, even if like you're like, oh, that person, they'll maybe if they chip in or they have like an unreal shot, they'll show maybe a quick replay and be like, oh, I didn't know he was playing in this, but um, yeah, Rombo,
That was
come
like
on, man,
the first year when like Lee Westwood and Ian Polt, they all grouped them together and they're like, go, just go,
right? Yeah, yeah,
just go out there.
tee off first and get it out of our way. Yeah.
Mm. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting for sure. And the guys who took the money, I mean, you can't, I can't blame any player, and I never have blamed the players for it. Um, like if you're Jon Rahm, even though you said all those things, when someone comes with that money, you're going. You have
Yeah.
to make that decision. So it's very interesting. I'm excited to see, there's all the merger talks now and everything like that. I'm really excited to see how that goes. I personally don't want any type of American private equity group. Like John Henry's leading one of the groups. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you, I know, Timmy, you could go off on the baseball team right now that he owns because it's our favorite baseball team. I want you nowhere near the PGA Tour. So please figure something out where, you know, just figure it out. Honestly, just figure it out.
It makes so much sense why John Henry's not paying to keep his stars around because he's
Yep.
saving up his cash. He's like Yawkey trying to
Yeah.
sell the babe to fund his play.
He's got to go buy a basketball team now. So,
exactly.
It'll be fun. Anyways, speaking well, no, there's really no good segues on this because one thing I did really want to bring up is kind of as we're winding down, a really great story came out this week about Gary Woodland coming back to the tour. For many of you who don't know, Gary actually had to, it's not retire, but he had to take a lot of time off last year because he had brain lesions. So he had to go get surgery for that and has somehow come back. And everyone already knows how great of a guy Gary Woodland is. I mean, it's like everyone loves him on tour. And there are countless articles about how great of a guy he is off the course as well. So being able to kind of see him come back, he had a big interview today about it. It's just like, it reminds me of why I like golf so much. And it reminds me of why, I root for certain individuals, why I don't root for other certain individuals. But this time around, I was like, Gary, like I'm rooting for you. I didn't put you in my DraftKings lineup this week, but I'm rooting for you.
Gary Woodland, just a household name ever since he wears the Wilson on his hat. Another brand that we're talking about that could a smaller brand, but yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, Brendan. Glad he's in better health. Glad he's back. And couldn't have said it better myself. You hear a lot of good things off the course as well as on the course, and thanks for bringing that up, Brendan. That's a good point. And yeah, say a prayer for Gary Woodland and his family, and glad to have you back.
Great. Well, boys, before we go, I'm kind of surprising you guys because I didn't even say we were going to do this. What is one New Year's resolution that you have for the course, for your golf game?
That was going to be my golfer poll. Was what is your goal?
Did I just take a Timmy golfer poll?
That's fine. I'm glad you said it, Brendan.
New year, new poll.
Yep. It is January 10th, whatever it is.
What's 2024, and Brendan steals one of Timmy's lines. Oh, this is the best.
Hot start. Love it. Who wants to kick it off? Timmy,
Well,
because
since
you're
I asked the question, usually I know Timmy's like, I usually ask the question, what do I do here? I have no idea what to do. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
What do I do with them?
Well, but it does
Put
mean
your
he came
hands.
locked and loaded, though. That's
He is locked and
helpful.
loaded.
Now I'm the only one who's blindsided here. Jeez.
Bry guy got completely blindsided.
Yeah, usually my hands are below the desk flicking the dick. Is that what they call it while I'm
Oh,
asking the question?
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
This has gone off the rails.
Sorry, Miss Monroe.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
God
shoot.
bless her soul.
I know she is. She is the best. She really is. But anyway, first of all, one of us has to get a hole in one this year. How about that? Can we do that?
Darn it.
We may have to pull the Jersey Jerry and just go to a simulator and literally just count that as a hole in one because
Did he get it?
Oh yeah, 2,700 shots or something like that. Insane.
Wow. Can you
And
imagine?
he stinks at golf, so we really got to do better.
Gotta. We have 4 chances every 18 holes. How many rounds of golf do you think we've played in our lifetime? We probably had 20. We probably
I'm probably at over 1,000, and I'm not good at golf.
And
So
lightning's bound to strike. One of us got to get it. What are the odds?
Say that, but
one in every 12,500 are your odds. So Brennan, you've played 4,000 par threes in your life, let's say.
Never made one.
Never made one.
Never made a single one.
Can you believe that? Can you believe? So let's do that. Let's get a hole in one. But other than that, my handicap has not dropped to single digits in the history of my life. I would really like to get in the single digits, and that is
hell yeah. And that's, I mean, that's, here's a segue in the middle of the poll is just the new rules for the USGA handicap system, now allowing for 9-hole scores to be factored in instead of having to wait for the second 9 to come in to totally count towards that. That's a big rule change. Whether it helps or hurts, I can't tell what it's going to do, but there's a few different rules, and we can touch upon that next pod of the new changes, the new rules. But I like that a single handicap. So a nine would be a huge win. Anything other than that would be bonus.
Yep. Over the past year, switched my putting stroke. I really focusing on my iron work, and I was playing some decent golf at the end, and looking forward to getting back out there. And played some simulator golf this winter. Played well. Had the low gross score in the league, and I don't know, it like the stars and the moon aligned that day, and it really hurt my handicap in a good or bad way. But it obviously doesn't count for your regular handicap, so it doesn't count unless I'm on the course. But that's my goal. Who is next?
Braga, I feel like you were absolutely blindsided, so you got to take it.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, what really lacks for me is what really hurts me is just the putting. And it's actually gotten significantly better since I got I switched to a blade. And it's that's just something, I mean, we all can work on is just limiting it to two putts or less. And that's always my goal, but I like that was kind of my goal last year. Obviously everybody wants to get better at putting, but I didn't do anything to reach that goal. I mean, like if I never really practiced. Like I never went out and like if I was going to play golf, I was playing around, like playing legit, and there's no practice involved. I hardly even really like warming up on the putting green because I'm usually showing up for the first tee when we're about to tee off. So I think actually putting heart and soul, because you can't expect to get any better if you're just a weekend warrior or going out and just playing. I mean, you definitely obviously improve the more you play, but actively going out and maybe just going to the putting green and spending time on the putting green for quite some time, and just getting that feel, or even calling in the big guns and taking lessons specifically just for putting. Because I just need to figure out and feel the most comfortable out there to set myself up for success of shooting 2 putts or less each hole. So that'll be a part of my journey. And with that, obviously, it'll improve my handicap overall, but at that, just my main focus, because a few years ago my goal was to get better at hitting my long irons, and that's actually something that I improved on. But yeah, I think dialing in on one specific element of the game at a time, and thankfully, I mean, knock on wood, I've been able to retain, like, if I get better at driving, I've been able to keep that and just keep adding on the tools to my tool belt. But putting is the next one. So 2024 is going to be the year of the Scotty for me.
Love it. Brian, sorry that you can't just do a little bit of a flick and it go, right in the hole.
Yeah,
we'll
the
get
greens
there.
are too small. I just hit them off. I'm too strong for the greens, honestly. They're way too small.
Oh, I love that. I
I
love
can't
that.
keep it on.
Mine is definitely, and I made a post about this on TikTok too. Mine is enjoy the walk. Like, I know you got or ride, when you're riding in the cart. But you got it on. Do you have it on
Yeah, that's for people just listening. Tim has his Apple Watch.
Tim, say something
watch
so you
face.
come up on the thing.
Yeah. So
Brendan, I absolutely love that goal. It was my goal 2 years ago. Was just enjoy the walk, get out there, and I do that at 5 a.m. 5 p.m. after I cut the grass and I want something to do. Shannon's not home. I go out there and I have the time of my life, just golfing by myself, enjoying the walk. Brendan, you are gonna love it. That is a great goal, Brendan.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just kind of letting, because there's stuff that always goes on. And I do think, I mean, you guys have played with me too. I think what I need to do is just keep that stuff in the clubhouse. You know what I mean? Or leave it in the car and just go out there, clear my head. And I think I'll play a lot better. Who knows? Maybe I'm playing too quick. I mean, you guys know me. I play lightning fast. But maybe I just need to think about it a little bit, think about it less and enjoy it more. And I think that's something that I really, really want to work on this year. Because I think my game in October, November, December this year, it was horrendous. And I think it was because of stuff because I was bringing kind of some negative energy of stuff going on outside of golf to the golf course. And that's why it was bad.
Brendan, that might be my favorite 2 minutes of you talking that I've ever heard. That was great. That was great.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
All grown up,
It only took 32 years. Am I right? Jesus.
Yeah, enjoy the walk, Bren. Don't rush me out there.
Oh, I'm gonna rush your ass.
You two are the opposite.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's like no, we're not getting into this again. We're not doing calm down over there.
More of a run for him. It's enjoy the run.
This
dude, to be honest, I probably should have the run in, knowing me.
Motors.
I'm keeping slim. I'm keeping the slim, but maybe I should add a run or two in. I do agree with you on that side. So maybe I should enjoy the run a little more.
I'll never forget it when I think it might have been last year or I don't know, something. But obviously Brendan is the quickest golfer I've ever played with. I mean, he barely even puts the ball down on the ground. It doesn't even settle before he hits it. And Brian is not like a super fast golfer. I mean, compared to Brendan, he's not. And
wait a second. Not a super fast golfer. That's one way to put it. Brian has gotten significantly better on the timing. There were a couple times back in the old 2020 and 2021 where I thought we were going to play a 6-hour round.
All right. This is why it's hysterical, because one of Brian's goals one year was, I think you said focus more or take more time and focus on your putts, Brian. Like you were going to stand over the ball a little longer and focus. And I looked up at Brendan's screen. I thought he was going to have a stroke. and it's nothing. I was incredible. I can't believe. I wish we had that on tape. We do have it on tape. I'll find the podcast. I'll find the podcast. Oh
We
my
got
God.
it. We got it.
You gotta find it.
I'm definitely gonna take a little bit longer now on the greens.
He's gonna go back. He's gonna do the Max Homa thing where he just
I was
goes.
gonna say I'm learning the aim point. I'm doing aim point from now on.
Dude, one of the guys you guys know Paul. He does that. Like he tries to do the Max Homa stuff, and I'm just like, I'm literally like, putt the ball, like putt it.
Yes. Yeah, I feel you, Paul. Let Brendan needs to stay in his lane. Enjoy the walk a little more.
We're not walking on the green. Technically you are walking on the green, but that's besides the point.
This year we're gonna have a featured match. It's gonna be Brian versus Brendan.
No, Brian's gonna kill me because he knows that I want to play, that I'm in a groove and I'm playing fast. So he's just gonna take his time. He knows.
Yeah, but you guys can play. You guys can play so many head games with each other because you're so opposite. It's gonna be. It would be. I don't even want to play. I'm just gonna caddy for both of you guys.
We need someone filming. I just got a like a lapel mic for creating some content, so we'll be able to shoot some content. Is that are those lapel mics too?
Oh no.
What are we looking at
here? This is a nice little GoPro set, boys.
Whoa!
What is that, Brent?
GoPro.
Well, Bren, you in? Are you? So you're in Boston now for full time?
Yep, full time here. You can see my lovely apartment. This is like, I'm saying like, oh, look at my apartment. This is my apartment. Like there's
there we go. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Tim has something. Is that a GoPro as well? Holy hell. Do I need to get a GoPro? Jesus.
We don't want your lapel mics.
Wow. So we got to make this happen, or it just make more content it's a drone. Even crazier. Holy hell.
That just went from 6 to midnight.
Yeah, holy kick. Tim just shoot up 95, get over here, and Brendan and I will meet you out on some course over here.
Oh, I would love to film your guys' match.
Oh, yeah, just what I need. A freaking buzzing drone above my head while in my backswing. That's what
Call it white noise. White noise.
But. That'll be
yeah, right. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. But no, that'll be fun. I think creating more content that way. This just turned into like a business meeting now. We're like, this is what we're doing. We're game planning our social media now. But yeah, that'd be fun. And those are all unbelievable goals for 2024. I think Mike's goal should be just show up to a podcast every once in a while.
Boom.
That should be Mike's.
Let the record be known. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I'm usually the one that says it. So Michael. Oh, what's the code word, by the way?
Oh, we need a code word. We can't tell him.
I'm thinking. No, we use pineapples already. Spumoni.
Yeah, that's like a swingers thing.
That's also swingers. We've been talking way too much about extracurricular activities on this podcast.
Would you say Spumoni?
I like Spumoni's because that's all he likes. That restaurant too, down in Pawtucket. I think he likes it.
Yeah, right on Route 1. Spumoni's. I like it.
Spumoni's. All right, Mike. If you text us Spumoni's, you're in the clear.
And we'll give you a chance to give us your actual goal.
Yes, that is true.
For now, it's just show up.
Have we ever I think we got one text with the code word one time.
No, we had to tell him.
Oh, right. We did have to tell him. Yeah. Yeah, that was embarrassing. Oh, well. All right, boys. Well, this was fun. I had a great time. I don't know about you guys, but this was absolutely lovely. And I am so back. Well, we're so back. I am so happy that we're back.
Absolutely. I think our listeners will be excited. We've gotten a lot of people wondering if we're no longer doing this thing. And I said, we're on a hiatus just because of everything going on, but we're back, baby. We are back. So thanks for staying by us if you're still here.
Shout out Mr. Rose. Shout out Mr. Rose. And we definitely need more podcasts because the Friars just lost 3 in a row.
God, we need something.
Great to be back. Great to be back.
All right, boys. Well, next episode is episode 100. So we got to do something for it.
We should have Mrs. Monroe on.
Probably getting blown off by Mike. And he won't be blown off by Mike. I did not say the other thing because we've had too much of that nonsense tonight. Mike, Spumoni's. Anyways, I'm so happy we're back, guys. Let's get ready. Let's just get on out there, duff it up, let it fly, whatever you guys want to do, and
play better, baby.
Play better. Let's do it. Thanks, guys.